Hey! Alright, today we're going to try and break down the main solo in Girl in the Magazine. This is one of my favorites on the whole EP. I'm really proud of how this one shook out. I think it really complements the chord changes that go on underneath it. And it's a lot of fun to play. There's some bits, I was kind of walking through it earlier to make sure I was explaining stuff right, you know, before doing the video. And there's that one kind of fast bit that I do before I go into those, what are they called, thirds? Something like that. That one bit in the end. And I don't know, it's kind of a, I don't know, it's a bit tricky to explain. But, yeah, I mean, I'll do the best I can to walk you through it. So yeah, let's just kind of jump right into it. So it starts off, you know, you hold on that B for a little bit during the chorus, and then you jump right into those octave slides. And that octave slide is, so you're hitting the, that is a seventh fret on the A, and a ninth fret on the G, so that's an octave. So that's an E kind of octave. And then, so it's from 7 to 9, so, and you're kind of sliding it too. So then slide it up to 10. Back to 9. And then up to 12. And then, what's that, 10, 9, 7. So those octave slides are... And you're kind of doing that same melody again, but instead of the octave slides, you're doing it on the B string and sliding. So you're hitting the 5th fret on the B, and again sliding up to 7, and then 8, and then 10. So... And while you're doing those slides, hit the open E. It gives it it's a bit messy, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, it gives it a neat, different sound, you know. Now we get into the licks. That was kind of the build-up, you know. So you take a half step. So it's a half step on bend on the 14th fret on the B, and then 12 and 13, and that's a hammer on. So it's you're hammering on 13 from 12. So you have that, and 14 on the D. So that half step bend on 14, then the hammer on from 12 to 13, and then that hit on the D on the 14. So. And then a double stop on the 12th fret, and I think that's the G and B. Yeah, G and B. And that's 2 hits. Back to that 12 on the D. Or, excuse me, 14 on the D. And then now you slide to 9 on the D. And then 7, 9 on the G. And then well, you're bending up to the 12th fret. I think that's a step and a half. Well, not like that. It's a big bend. It's a little scary, but it sounds cool. And then you kind of bring it back down to pitch, and then give it the good old Angus vibrato. And that's kind of a quick hit from the 7 to 9. And then now you have the, it's a half step bend on the 8th fret on the B, 9, 7 on the G, and then, I think that's it's a full step. Yeah, it's a full step bend on the 10th fret. And then 8th fret, half step bend again. And then back to that 9 on the G. So that whole phrase is so that's what that sounds like, you know. And then now we get to that crazy part, and I've had so much trouble explaining this and even playing it slow, because it's kind of a funky lick. It's that, you know. So yeah, it's that. It's just kind of in that E kind of box. I don't know, that diagonal shape. It's kind of in that area. I'll try and break it down as best as I can, but this one's kind of hard to explain. So I'm sorry in advance if this is kind of confusing. So it's 7 and 9 on the G, and then 7, 8 on the B. So it's kind of I think it's a legato run. That's a hammer run. And then 9, 7 on the G. So that's kind of a little phrase by itself. That's kind of tricky to do. And then 8 and 9 on the D, and 7 on the G. And then it's like, what is it? And it's like you slide it back to, you slide from the 9 to 7, but then you do a little kind of quick, it's like a half, you kind of slide it to the 8th fret from 7. So yeah, it's really bizarre to explain and play slow. So it's kind of, yeah, I'm sorry, that's really hard to try and say. It's one of those I could play it normally, but trying to play it slow, it's like something isn't working. But yeah, that's kind of that phrase. So yeah. And then once you're back in that box, it's just, you know, 7, 5, 7, 5 on the D, and then 7 on the A, and then kind of, it's just kind of a bounce, yeah, between those two. I can play it, so you guys get a better play. So yeah, that's that phrase. Kind of tricky to play, but it's very cool. And it's cool because it matches up with the drums. You know, you can hear the drums doing what is like a whatever it does. Yeah. Listen to the drums to hear what I'm talking about. Oh my god. Anyway, so then you have that section, and now in the rhythm part, it goes to that G to an A. It does that twice. So playing over those changes, you use, I think they're called thirds. I don't know. I got them from Rick Nielsen. He does this a lot. It's a, you slide, I don't know where you're sliding from. You just kind of slide up from wherever to 9 on the D. And then you're grabbing 8 on the B. And you do that 4 times? Is it 5? Then you slide it up 2 frets. So then you got, what is that, 11 on the D, and then 10 on the B. And then this is where things get funny. You slide it up to, I think that's 18 on the G, and then you grab the 17 on the B. And that's tricky, because when I do that live, that's like, you know, it's kind of scary, because that's a total, you know, hit or miss kind of thing. That's kind of half the fun, though. You can mess up. So, yeah, you go from that. And you slide all the way up there. And then you slide back up. You slide back up to that that same shape. And then you slide it back. And that's 16 and 15 on the G, and so 16 on the G, 15 on the E. So, and then you slide back again. So you're sliding. So it's sliding back on the G's this whole time. And then you slide back to 14 on the G, but instead of grabbing, if you keep that shape, you'd be grabbing the 12 on the E. Use your middle or your third finger and grab the 14 on the E. So they're both kind of on the same fret but different string. So, and then you go back 2 frets. Just move that whole shape back 2 frets, and it's the same strings. So that whole little phrase. You slide up from 12 to 14 again. See what I mean? That little phrase is kind of tricky to get right. And then, we're done with the thirds. Now we're on to that last lick. And then that's just kind of it's a bluesy E pentatonic thing. That's just what it said. It's like a 15 fret full bend on the E. And then you hit 12 on the E, and it's a quick hammer on from 15 to 12 on the B. And then you're hitting that blue note. You're sliding from the, 15 to 14 on the G, and you're hitting 12. And you're hitting the 14 on the D. And then it's kind of a bar when you're hitting that 14. And then, because that leads to that, the very last phrase of the solo. So kind of still having that bar, it makes things a little bit easier. You hit that D, you hit the G on the 14 right after it. So, and then 12 on the G, and then 11 on the G, and then you're back to 9 on the G, and that's the solo. And again, vibrato. So that whole phrase slow. Holy moly, that was a lot to talk about. Oh man, yeah, it's a bit tricky to explain, but it's a lot of fun to play. And you know what? If you don't get the whole thing note for note, it's not the end of the world. I'm just doing this for people that maybe want to learn some of the licks, kind of in this, and the whole point is to have fun too. If you want to put your own spin on it, go ahead. I mean, it's rock and roll. It's all about having fun, right? So that's that whole solo. So kind of just play through the whole thing really quick. It's and then you go, as soon as you hit that. But then, we're going through the main riff. It was just kind of a last minute add-on, really. But it wasn't I've seen Slash do this. I've seen everybody do this, really. I always think of Ted Nugent, too. Slash, Ted, I think Eddie's done it. Ace, really. It's a common, you do a slide on the high E, or not high E, low E. You do a slide on the low E, and I don't even know where it goes to. I think it's like maybe the... What is that, like 17 on the E? You just bend that sucker. Just bend that low E and just give it that shake. It's just an aggressive... just kind of an aggressive thing before it kicks back into the verse. I don't know. The pitch is kind of random. Just Feel it. Or just play the riff if you want to. And that's pretty much it for that main solo. And then the only thing left is that very ending part, you know, where you go to that. You know, when you're doing that whole, you know, you're holding down the Hendrix chord thing and all that at the very end. The trash can ending, I'm doing a little thing over it. It's it's kind of a funny phrase. It's a full stop, or it's a full stop bend on the 7 on the G. Well, okay, that whole phrase, let me just play it for you. So that's that ending phrase. So yeah, the first phrase is kind of funny. It's a full step on the 7 on the G, full step 9 on the G, and then a full step 11 on the G, then full step 12 on the G, or 14 on the G. It's a bit funny to do. And that's just kind of another full step on the 9 on the G. So that's like, you know, kind of a rolling motion. You know, you hit that 9 on the D, then 9 on the G, then kind of it's a half step then on the 8, and, you know, another shake vibrato on the 9 on the G. It's like a kind of bluesy thing. It's a 9, 8, 7 on the D string. A bit of a bend on the 5th fret on the D, and then kind of a little, you know, and then it's 7, 7, 5, then 7, 5 on the A, and then 7 on the E. Hit that 5 again on the D, and bend it a full step to that E. And just shake it. If you have enough room, what I did there in the studio is I had, you know, I was in the same room as the amp for that part. And with that bend, you know, stood in front of the amp, and you get that feedback. I can't really recreate it here, but that's kind of that sound. Hit the Hendrix chord and you're done. Oh man, that was a lot to talk about. Yeah, this is my first time really breaking down a solo. We're trying to explain it note for note. So yeah, some parts are a bit hard to explain and not play, so I'm kind of sorry about that in advance. But like I said, it's rock and roll. The whole point of me doing this is, you know, if anyone's kind of wondering about a certain lick and all that, I hope this kind of helps show you what you can do. Or, you know, show you how something goes. And like I've said, you know, the main thing is just having fun with it and just, you know, having a good time. So I really hope you take the lesson. Really hope you get something out of it, too. Like a cool lick or something that's making you think a little bit. Or kind of inspires you to do something. That's really the biggest thing with this. But yeah, I mean, just have fun with it. And yeah, thanks for checking this out. Take care and have fun. Bye.